Hey guys, welcome to part 8 of my reference playlist. I think it's fair to say that I've done enough of these for you all to know that I'll be picking out some item or technique that I need for upcoming projects. That means I can go into more details on those specific objects, and as a side effect, it makes the eventual project videos they appear in slightly shorter. So I think it's fairly safe to say that you can assume that will be the case unless I say otherwise. So with that said, for today's video I'll be making a functional paper fan. It's summer, you see, so my yarn babies need to keep cool. Let's get into it. The materials you will need are some coffee stirring sticks, some wire, in this case I'm using a headpin, some gems and charms, possibly some mini tassels for decoration, and of course plain and decorative paper. The stirring sticks I have are 5.5 inches, so I began by measuring and cutting 4 of these sticks exactly in half, so I ended up with 8 pieces. Well, that's a lie, and technically also not a lie, because I did that on my test piece with 8 pieces and I found out that it was a bit too bulky, so I ended up cutting it in 6. And then also I made a discovery that really it's better to have a 2-inch stick. So in the end I measured from the curved edge 2 inches and marked that with a line. I then also from the same curved edge marked 8 millimeters in and marked that with a dot. So essentially the line is our cutting line and the dot marks the spot to be drilled. Then, using some Mitre Shears, I cut out all the pieces that I needed. And in this case that was 6, as I said earlier. I happen to have a hand drill for this next step, but if you don't, you can actually use push pins. These stir sticks are not really that strong, so they can be punctured with just a simple pin. But this drill is useful for very delicate work and I use it all the time in my jewellery. I chose the drill bit that matched the size of the headpin and drilled a hole in each of the sticks. I just really eyeballed the centre I did mark the dots, but I also eyeballed the exact centre. I wasn't going to be too precise about it. You can of course use any kind of drill, but do be careful not to crack or splinter the wood, and for this I just used a scrap piece of the stirring stick, placed it underneath the one I was drilling the hole. That way it would puncture into that stick and not splinter the wood on the actual piece that I wanted. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I then layered and joined all the sticks together using the headpin. I then bent it out of the way for now, and we'll come back to it later. This is just to keep everything in place for now. This next step is entirely optional, but I decided to go ahead and trim off the excess on 4 of these sticks, just to taper them off towards the end, ever so slightly. Like I said, this step is entirely optional and you don't have to do it. Next, I cut a semicircle out of the plain paper. For this, I just guesstimated it by folding the paper in half and then cutting a curve at the fold, so that when I opened it, I was left with a symmetrical semicircle. Then I fanned out the sticks and glued them roughly the same distance apart on the plain paper. You can be really precise here and measure the exact distance between each of these, but at this scale I think eyeballing it works fine. It will still come out well, I promise. Once they're all dry, repeat the process with the decorative paper and glue that onto the other side of the sticks. Once both layers are fully dry, then carefully cut out the fan shape. When everything is fully dry, fold and glue down the edges at the ends and fold the segments closed. Now back to that headpin, or wire if you went with that. I cut it down slightly, and using some needle nose pliers, I created the loop so that I can hang a charm or tassel, which of course meant I made a simple tassel to attach to the fan. While I finish off that tassel, I'm just going to do a quick wrap up. This isn't the most precise or technically accomplished fan, and there's probably better ways to do it, but for this scale I think it's just fine, and it definitely makes a cute little addition to any amigurumi accessory collection. So have a go, experiment with different materials and let me know how you get on. As always, if you'd like to see more, then please like, share, comment and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling generous, then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that, enjoy the beauty shots and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!